You know, Ben Franklin once said that the only two certainties in this world were death and taxes. He forgot a third thing in that little list, and that's me gushing over this movie. Mary Poppins. First off, I want to say before I get started into this review, sorry for the quick location shift, everybody. The light bulb where I normally film myself is out. I don't have a ladder to get up there to fix it, so I can't film in front of there. So I'm just going to do it in this little backdrop sitting here on my couch, and hopefully this isn't too bad of a location. Now, for those who have not seen Mary Poppins, first of all, go watch it, and second, I'm going to go ahead and explain the plot just a little bit without spoiling anything. It centers around the magical nanny, Mary Poppins, who comes into 17 Cherry Tree Lane in London, coming around to the Banks family, and realizing that there's kind of a problem going on in this household. In fact, that the Mr. Banks of the household is kind of a cold, firm, kind of aloof father figure, and he's not exactly paying attention to his kids. He always wants strict discipline and wants to be firm with his children. He's not exactly kind of a great father, if I had to be perfectly honest. He's just not that great of a father. He's always got this strict schedule. Like, he even sings about it at the beginning of the film, where he always comes in at 6 o'clock, and by 6:02 he pats his children on the head and sends them off to bed. And I'm just thinking, that is the kind of cold household that they have. And Jane and Michael, the kids, they keep being rambunctious kids, and they always end up pissing off their nannies, and every time that they have a new nanny, the father gets upset, and now he picks the new nanny, and then completely out of the blue, Mary Poppins comes into their lives and basically turns their whole lives upside down. And not everyone, specifically Mr. Banks, is pretty much happy with this idea. But I won't spoil what exactly happens in the plot, because seriously, you need to see this movie. Where do I even begin with a movie like Mary Poppins? Like, this movie, you know how everyone has one particular movie that they always remember from their younger days or childhood or something like that? People have Toy Story, some people have The Little Mermaid, some people have The Lion King, some people have, I don't know, Treasure Island. Some people have some kind of Disney movie at some point that they remember a lot. This movie, however, Mary Poppins, is that case for me. I swear, I watched this movie so many times growing up, and I still do to this day. It's one of the few movies that I can watch from beginning to end. I have complete, unadulterated attention to that movie, and I can have a smile on it at the beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie, all the way through. I've watched this movie so many times, I could probably quote it verbatim. Literally the entire movie. And the reason why I love this movie so much is that everything feels so just blissful. Everything feels so right in this movie. Every cast member, every song, every setting, every little adventure, every little thing in this movie just works. The score in this movie, do I even need to say that it's fantastic? I mean, the Sherman Brothers just knocked it out of the park with this movie. Every single song in this movie is memorable, it's catchy, you will be humming this for weeks. Or pretty much years. These are songs that will just never leave your mind, and they will always stick with you, and they always put a smile on your face, or they at least put a smile on my face, like Chim Chimney, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Let's Go Fly a Kite, Step in Time, Spoonful of Sugar Helps the Medicine Go Down. All of those songs, they together make something, they all fit the mood, they all have a different style to them, and they're all so much fun to listen to sing to. I mean, I can remember when I was a kid, I was singing along to every song, and I was having so much fun, and every time I listened to this movie, it always put a smile on my face. The acting in this movie is unbelievable, and it's hard to believe that this is Julie Andrews' first theatrical role. I mean, sure, she did a couple of plays, like was an extra in Camelot before she picked up this role, but the fact that she did so well and was Oscar-winning actress from her first film role that just shows a testament to how well of an actress Julie Andrews actually is. And she's probably one of the few actresses I would love to meet in person just to see, like, just to thank her. And then we move on to another main character, Dick Van Dyke as Bert, who's kind of like Mary Poppins' closest friend, if you could put it that way. And he is just so much fun. Like, if I ever had the chance to play any role in Mary Poppins, if that was like a stage production, I would love to play Bert. He's just so much fun, and he has this kind of childlike whimsicalness about him, and everything he does, like, he can be anything. He could be a chimney sweep, he could sell you kites, he'll sell you warm chestnuts, he'll be a screever on the side of the road, a one-man band. There's just so many things he can do, and it's just so much fun, and he has just a joy about doing it. Just going into seeing every actors, and even the kids, Jane and Michael, I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but every single, like, the kids themselves are good actors too. These kids just want to grow closer with their parents, and they're not bad kids. I mean, it's not like they intentionally try to cause people miserable or nannies miserable. It's just that they don't need someone like a drill sergeant. They don't need a nanny who's a drill sergeant. They need a nanny who's going to listen to them, who can teach them right from wrong, and someone who can help them grow, but also understand, be a friend to them. Why did I watch this one so many more times than anything else? I mean, this is probably the movie I've watched the most times out of everything I've ever seen in my life. Why this one? And I tried to sit down and watch it again last night and just think to myself, why? And I think I finally picked up the answer as to what it is. And that is, unlike most Disney films where they try to convey a message for children and it's wholesome for both kids and adults, it seems like Mary Poppins is an exception where it's more about a message to parents. And here's where I'm going with this idea. In the movie, there is a scene with Bert and Mr. Banks, and it involves a certain little number with Dick Van Dyke. Listening to his song, he talks to Mr. Banks in the lesson of the film, and I think that perfectly encapsulates it, and saying to Mr. Banks is like, look, really you need to take a note of this, is that your kids want to look up to their parents, and they want to look up to their mother or their father, and they want to spend time with you. They want to do things together. They want the kids want their parents to enjoy the stuff that they do and enjoy it with them, because eventually, or I should say an inevitability, is that the kids are gonna grow up and the parents won't really have anything to offer them anymore. They won't be able to spend time with them anymore. And to me, that's one of the most important messages I've ever seen in a film, especially in a Disney film where most of the messages I've seen are regarded towards kids. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I've never seen a film where it's both good for kids and adults, and yet the main message of the film is regarding towards parents. You can probably guess where this movie is going to go in terms of my rating system, but I'm going to go ahead and sum it all up. With a pitch-perfect score, acting that is over-the-top amazing, every single setting and shot is beautiful, every single little lesson in this film, the kids, the acting, everything in this movie just works. It works so well. It always puts a smile on my face. It makes me so happy to see it. I can't help but watch this movie over and over again. In fact, I'm probably going to watch it again right after I'm done recording this video. But overall, I have to say that Mary Poppins is so good, it's worth buying twice. So there you go, everybody. That is my review of Mary Poppins. I hope you enjoyed this. And I understand I went a little gushy on this review, and I just went and just poured over everything in terms of what I loved about this movie. But I'm being 100% honest with this idea and just what I really, really think about this movie. So until next time, everybody, I'm Perry the One-Armed Legend. You name it, I can play it.